Beaverton, Oregon, March 14th, 2025, 2:17 p.m. A supply chain manager at Nike receives a phone call. The caller identifies himself as Derek from IT Security. He sounds professional, calm, familiar with internal protocols. "We're running a system-wide security audit," he says. "I need you to verify your credentials to ensure your account hasn't been compromised." The manager doesn't hesitate. He's received emails about the audit all week. He provides his username, his temporary password, his two-factor authentication code. The call lasts 4 minutes. Within 20 minutes, the attacker is inside Nike's supply chain management system. Within 2 hours, he has access to product development servers. Within 48 hours, 1.4 terabytes of data is gone. Design files for unreleased sneakers, AI-integrated apparel technology, manufacturing blueprints, supplier contracts, cost breakdowns. Not a single alarm went off. Not a single security protocol was triggered, because from the system's perspective, nothing unusual had happened. An authorized user had logged in, downloaded files they had clearance to access, and logged out. The invisible heist. January 17th, 2026. WorldLeaks, a decentralized whistleblower platform, releases a massive data dump. 47,000 files, 1.4 terabytes, all from Nike. The files include unreleased product designs, the Air Jordan 40, self-lacing running shoes with biometric tracking, AI-powered compression wear that adjusts to body temperature in real time. But the real story isn't the stolen designs, it's how they were stolen. Nike's cybersecurity budget in 2025 was over $200 million. Firewalls, intrusion detection systems, behavioral analytics, multi-factor authentication, all of it bypassed by a single phone call. The attack wasn't technical, it was social. Voice phishing, Vishing. The WorldLeaks dump includes internal security reports Nike never wanted public. They reveal that the breach started with a mid-level employee, someone with access, but not authority, someone who trusted a voice on the phone. And that's when the invisible became visible. His name was never released publicly. Nike's legal team made sure of that. But the WorldLeaks files identify him only as employee 4471, mid-30s, 7 years with the company, supply chain logistics coordinator. His job, managing vendor relationships and product shipment timelines. He had access to the supply chain database, vendor contracts, shipping manifest, product development schedules. But he wasn't high-level enough to trigger executive security protocols. That made him the perfect target. March 14th, 2025, 2:17 p.m. The call comes in. Derek from IT Security doesn't ask for anything unusual, just routine verification. But here's the sophistication. The caller already knew employee 4471's name, his department, his manager's name, recent projects he'd been working on. This wasn't a random phishing attempt. It was targeted, researched. The attacker had spent weeks mapping Nike's internal structure, LinkedIn profiles, corporate directories, conference attendee lists, all publicly available information. By the time the call came in, employee 4471 had no reason to doubt it. Everything the caller said was accurate. 4 minutes, that's all it took. And the keys to the kingdom were handed over. Hong Kong, April 2025. 3 weeks after the breach, the stolen Nike data doesn't stay in digital form for long. It's sold, not on dark web forums, not through cryptocurrency exchanges, through a network of logistics firms in Malaysia and Thailand. These aren't tech companies. They're freight forwarders, licensed, legitimate, operating in plain sight. Their business model is simple. Move counterfeit goods into restricted zones. markets where Nike's intellectual property protections are weak. The WorldLeaks dump reveals the payment structure. $4.7 million transferred through shell accounts in the Cayman Islands, routed to logistics firms with names like Pacific Trade Solutions and Asia Freight Alliance. These companies receive the stolen design files. Then they contract with manufacturers in Shenzhen and Dongguan. Within 60 days, counterfeit versions of unreleased Nike products are in production. Self-lacing shoes, eye-integrated compression wear, biometric running gear. By the time Nike's official products hit the market in 2026, the counterfeits are already on shelves in Southeast Asia. Same technology, same designs, a fraction of the price. This isn't just intellectual property theft, it's supply chain shadowing, a new form of cyber-enabled fraud where stolen data is weaponized through legitimate business channels. February 2026, Nike's CEO is called to testify before the Senate Commerce Committee. The questioning is brutal. How does a company with a $200 million cybersecurity budget get hacked by a phone call? The CEO's answer is careful, corporate. We are committed to enhancing our human-centered security protocols, but the WorldLeaks files tell a different story. Internal memos reveal that Nike's security team had warned leadership about Vishing risks. Multiple times, they recommended mandatory security training for all employees with system access. They recommended voice verification protocols. They recommended limiting credential sharing over phone or email. All of those recommendations were deprioritized. Why? Because training costs money. Voice verification systems cost money. Restricting employee workflow costs productivity. Nike chose efficiency over security, and it cost them 1.4 terabytes of trade secrets. The counterfeit market for Nike products is estimated at $3 billion annually. After the 2025 breach, that number jumped to $4.2 billion. The WorldLeaks dump didn't just expose Nike's vulnerabilities, it exposed the vulnerabilities of every major corporation relying on human gatekeepers. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. You can have the most advanced firewalls in the world. You can encrypt every database. You can monitor every login. But if an employee answers a phone call and hands over their credentials, none of it matters. Supply chain shadowing is the new frontier of corporate espionage. It doesn't require malware. It doesn't require zero-day exploits. It requires conversation, a friendly voice, a plausible story, and a moment of trust. Employee 4471 didn't hack Nike, he was hacked. And in doing so, he handed over the blueprint for a billion-dollar counterfeit operation. The attacker was never identified. The logistics firms were never prosecuted. The counterfeit products are still in circulation. Nike updated its security protocols, mandatory Vishing awareness training, voice verification for credential requests, restricted phone-based authentication. But the damage was done. In 2026, the biggest threat to a trillion-dollar company isn't a virus, it's a conversation. This case is ongoing. Subscribe to stay in the feed. This is Offshore Files. Case 014. The ledger never lies.